All right, what up? Zevin here, and this is video number 3. And once again, I don't really have a script or anything, and I'm just gonna talk about whatever I feel like talking about. So, I'm on this journey of posting a video just every day, and it's just for fun. It's just for me. I enjoy talking to the camera. And I'm trying to get better at it. So I'm trying to get better at talking to the camera, trying to get better at public speaking. And so I'm forcing myself to post a video every day for 10 days straight, and then we'll figure out what to do after that. So what I wanted to talk about today is the power of routine and how routine has been helping me a lot in my life. So the last couple weeks, last couple months for me, last couple a year, at least a year, has been really stressful for me. It's brought a lot of anxiety for me, and I feel like I've been very depressed the last probably year, like on and off, like literal depression. And I feel like I'm starting to come out of it. I'm still very low vibration right now, but I feel like I'm starting to come out of it. And what's helping a lot is routine, the power of routine. And I really look forward to starting my day right now, which is huge. I'm sure a lot of people have the same reaction as I do, but when I get depressed, I just want to sleep. I just want to sleep all day. And if I don't set an alarm, if I don't have anything to get up for, I will literally sleep until like 2 in the afternoon. It's bad. It's really bad. What's really been helping me is routine. So I want to talk about kind of what my routine has been and how it's evolving. What would be fun for me is to kind of look back on this video and see kind of where I was at this time and what it has evolved to. I hope that it continues to get better. But a little bit of my routine right now is, number one, I talked about this yesterday, and I feel like this is sort of the foundation. Number one is I have, what are they called? Momentum sheets. And what a momentum sheet is it looks like this. It starts off, it's on this side actually, momentum sheet, and it starts off blank, right? And every day I write the date. Sometimes I write, depending on what sheet it is. This, I don't have the day of the week, but I just have the date, and then I have what I did. So this one is my exercise momentum sheet, and it started off blank, and now, as you can see, it's got, the whole front is covered, and then almost the whole back, and then I guess I'll just have to get another sheet when it's filled up, because I'm enjoying recording what exercises that I do that day. And like a lot of times, I really just I have no motivation at all to go to the gym or to do anything, but just by writing it down and keeping this momentum going, keeping the ball rolling, is enough to make me at least do a little bit. So, all right, so that's the core, is momentum sheets. I'm doing an exercise momentum sheet. I just started a waking up earlier momentum sheet. So my long-term goal is to eventually get up at 6 a.m. Maybe even earlier, I don't know. But 6 a.m. is a really hard goal for me right now. Like I said, if I don't set an alarm, I will sleep until noon. And then if I'm in a bad depression, I will sleep until 2. I'll kind of wake up and go back to sleep, wake up and go back to sleep. But I won't even get out of bed till 2. But that's just the way I am. If no alarm, I will sleep until 11:30, 12. Easy, no problem. So my goal, and it's a really tough goal, is to get up at 6 a.m. That is the long-term vision of what I want to do. I've tried getting up just at 6 a.m. It's really hard. I can't do it. I can't do it consistently. I can do it maybe one day, and then the next day I can't do it, or I push snooze over and over again. So I'm trying a new thing where instead of just going right to 6 a.m., I'm going to try to inch my way up to it. So I'm doing 8 a.m. right now. I started a momentum sheet. I've had 2 days in a row of getting up at 8 a.m. Yesterday I got up without pushing snooze. Today I pushed snooze once, so I got up at 8:09, and I wrote that down. So on my momentum sheet, It says 8 a.m., you know, whatever, momentum sheet, and then I have the date, and then it says, you know, I push snooze, I got up at 8:09. Oh well, but you know, it's something. Then tomorrow, hopefully I get up at 8 with, you know, no snooze. And man, it was hard today. Like, my willpower is so low in the morning. I got to figure out how to get more willpower in the morning, because my willpower is just shot. As soon as my alarm goes off, screw it, I'm going back to bed. Like, it wasn't even a thought of getting up. And then after my alarm went off the second time, that's when I was like, okay, you know, I had a little bit of willpower, but that's tough. I read somewhere, and I didn't read it. I watched a YouTube video, and you know what I keep hearing on these videos is that you have a very limited supply of willpower, and like it's finite, so it gets used up on little things. So like an example he used was, you know, when you go to a restaurant and you're trying to cut carbs, or I can't remember what he was doing, but it was like, you know, they put bread on the table, and he's like, I just get the bread out of get the bread off the table, because he didn't want to waste his willpower on, you know, avoiding the bread, or you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Not avoiding the bread. Anyway, you know, battling through the temptation of eating the bread, right? So he was just like, I'm going to take it off the table. You know, waiter, get over here, get this bread off the table, because he, you know, he knows that he has finite amount of willpower. And I thought that was interesting, because I've never thought of it that way. You think with the little things, it's, you know, it should be easy, but I don't know, maybe that's a different way of looking at it, and I might start thinking of that a little bit differently. And I think along those same lines, we're talking about routine today, my routine. I think if you look at a lot of the most successful people, Mark Zuckerberg, what's the guy from Apple? I'm blanking right now, but Steve Jobs. I know that they've talked a lot about routine, and I want to research a little bit more on exactly what they've said on it. But I know, like Mark Zuckerberg, for example, he wears the same clothes every day, and his rationale for that is that's unneeded stress. Is in his opinion, it's unneeded stress to have another decision to make. What am I going to wear today? Blah, 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 blah. It's stressful. So he's just like, I know what I'm going to wear every single day, and he makes that a part of his routine. And he takes, you know, that bread off the table, if you will, and it's just like he gets up, he knows exactly what he's going to wear, and he doesn't have to think about it. And that's part of his routine, and that alleviates some of that stress. Thought that was interesting. Steve Jobs has had very similar thought patterns on that, just making decisions as easy as possible throughout the day. If it's a small one, just very easy. Don't even have to think about it. Okay. So now that that's all been said, I want to talk about a little bit more about my routine. So momentum sheets are a core of what I'm trying to do. And right now, I'm trying to get up at 8 a.m. and I write it down on my momentum sheet. Then I'm trying to get my exercise in. And the morning, all the way up until about, what time is it? It's 11 o'clock right now. So all the way up until noon, I kind of have everything, not necessarily scripted, but I kind of have what I've been doing the last couple weeks. And, you know, I get up, I do my exercises, whatever it is for that day, running, or, you know, today I did some running, I did some weights. I do 50 push-ups every day. I want to get that to 100. I did 50 push-ups in a row, which is actually, looking on my sheet, I've only done that a couple times. Usually I have to stop a few times, but eventually I'm going to bump that up to 100, but right now 50 is still kind of tough for me. So 50 is plenty. When 50 starts getting way too easy, I'm going to bump it up. Maybe I go to 75, then 100. So I get up, I drink my tea, my yerba mate tea, which is great. A lot better for you than Red Bull. And then I do my exercises. Then I'm doing this video, or I post on Instagram a little bit. Instagram is a great tool. It's kind of keeping me accountable. It's fun to post on there, and it's fun, kind of like a momentum sheet where you get to look back, and it's like every day. It's like, oh, I have to post today because I posted every single day for, you know, however long. So after I post on Instagram, then I make my video, and then I get my work done. So I have a lot of emails that I need to do, and I do a pretty good job of like really putting that on the back burner until it's time for that. So I don't even touch my emails, don't even try to read them or go through them until 12. And then about 12 o'clock, I go through my emails, read them, I get everything done that I need to do. If I have a bill to pay, I'm going to pay a bill. And then around 3, 2:30 or 3, I go into work, and I work until about 9:30. So that's my 10 minutes for the day. I kind of rambled. But like I said, I'm trying to get better at this. This is good for me to kind of look back and watch and see, you know, my progress over time. So that's it. I'll be back tomorrow with, what was today? Video number 3. Tomorrow, video number 4.